In a previous video, I was comparing two XLR to USB-C adapters, the Shure and the X2U, and the Senal 2496-C. Now in that video, I mentioned something that probably sounded a little awkward to some people, and that was I had compatibility issues with the Senal, in that every USB-C to USB-C cable I tried didn't work. Now it comes with a USB-C to USB-A cable, and it would work if you plug the USB-A into a USB-C adapter and then plug that adapter into your device. I also mentioned that I tried pretty much every USB-C to USB-C cable in my possession, more or less. I probably missed a few, and none of them worked. I reached out to Senal support and I asked them if they had a recommended cable, which they did share a recommendation with me, and I finally ordered it. I'm going to try it out in this video to see if it indeed works. However, before we get to that, I actually want to go through and just test some cables right now with you all watching. So this video isn't like a great big trust me bro. Now the first cable will be the cable that came with the Senal, and plug it in. Then I will plug it in to the adapter on my MacBook, and you can see that I have power. Now the catch is you have to use the native USB-C end on the Senal. If I flip this and use the adapter on Senal, it won't work. Watch. All right, I am plugging in the adapter end to the Senal and plug the USB-C end into my MacBook, and you see the power is not coming on. This to me is really unexpected behavior, to be completely honest. I've never dealt with a device that worked like this. Well, let's continue with the testing. So the next USB-C to USB-A cable is actually one that came with my GoPros. I'll plug it in and plug it into the adapter, and there we go. We got power. Now with some random brainless cable that I've been using around the studio forever, it's worked on everything else. I know it will work here. There we go. Again, power indicator is on. Here's a cable that I've actually used on my 4K displays with my Mac Studio. Plug in the USB-C, and now plug in the USB-C directly, no adapter needed. And as you can see, there is no power. It's not picking anything up. Here's some random brandless USB-C cable that I've used a lot in many devices, and it works fine. Plug it in. It's much shorter than the other ones. Let's see if that does anything. Again, I have no power coming through. The LED is not lighting up. This cable actually came with my Rodecaster Duo, so I know this one can handle audio signals. Let's plug it in. First, I'll plug into the computer, and then I'll plug in to the adapter. See if that changes anything. And again, the device does not seem to be getting any power from the USB-C. We're almost done. This next to the last cable we're going to test out is actually from Anker. I used this one to power up or to recharge my Anker power banks. So I know this one can handle a very large load on the cable. There's no reason why it shouldn't be able to handle an audio signal. So let's plug it in, and then into the MacBook, and once again, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what they recommended was this one from Pearstone. I'll leave a link in the description. Not that it will probably matter. Actually, I shouldn't be so negative. I actually haven't tested it out. It's still in the package. We're going to test it right now. Let's see if this is the only USB-C cable on the planet that appears to work with this device. I don't know how this is going to turn out, to be honest, folks. No idea. None. This is a first for me. Who knows? Maybe it works and I can finally plug directly into my laptop without an adapter. If not, well, I have yet another USB-C cable lying around the studio. All right, so let's unplug the Anker, plug in the Pearson, and plug it in to the MacBook. Looks like I have another USB-C cable. Yay, I have no shortage of these. I'm sure I'll find a device that this will work great on. Wow. I don't know what to say. I do like this. If you watch the video, I do like the knobs. I love just physical knobs. I do think this one sounds better than the Shure. I like the Shure for travel. All right. If you didn't watch that video, one of my biggest complaints about the Senal is that the XLR jack right here is really loose on all my microphones. So I just can't like plug this in the back of a Shure SM7DB and just leave it hanging, because it will like hang and kind of pull out a little bit. The Shure, I think, is much better for travel. I can just plug it directly into the mic and then run the USB-C out of it. For this one, I actually need to carry a small XLR cable and run the cable out of the microphone into this, and then leave this sitting on a desk undisturbed, so the cable's not moving around. I mean, otherwise, if you watch the video, I think this sounds really good for what it is. But I can't get my head around the fact that the USB-C is so incompatible with so many cables. Support was kind of surprised by this. They were like, hey, any cable should work. And I was like, bro, no, it doesn't. I wasn't rude. I was actually very nice and gave them a detailed explanation. But I wanted to make this video because I did mention the last video, and sort of a trust me, bro. I didn't really give a demonstration. So I wanted to follow up with a demonstration, but I wanted to make sure that I had the recommended cable. I wasn't going to order this because I was like, I'm not going to order a cable just for a video. And then I did. So now you know, the recommended cable didn't work. So far, I have yet to find a single USB-C to USB-C cable that works with the Senal. If you have found one, please let me know. That would be an amazing find. Well, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.